Hello everyone. How are you all doing? Thank you for joining this webinar session. I hope you can all hear me clearly. My name is Sheriff. I'm sure a lot of people here have gotten my emails before, so it's finally nice to interact with you all. I'm Sheriff here. I'm speaking from Lagos, Nigeria. Um, if you can, please just tell me where you are tuning in from. One of the best things about like working here at East Summit is I get to work with people from all over the world. Yeah, so I'd like to know where you are tuning in from right now. Please let me know if you can hear me clearly. So if you can't hear me clearly, just put it in the comment section and I'll adjust my mic. Hi Javad, nice to virtually meet you. Hey Fernando, great to be here too. All right, we'll just give it a couple more seconds so more people can join us before we get to the show proper. But yeah, I'm really excited about today's session because it's something I've been planning for a while after speaking with a couple of customers and hearing what they needed to learn. Okay. I think we'll just we have like about 30 people in the stream right now, so I think we'll just get started. So once again, hello everyone and thank you for being here. My name is Sheriff and I lead growth and marketing here at Hey Summit. Um, Again, if you're just joining, please feel free to put in where you are talking, where you're tuning in from the comment section, and whether or not you've run ads for an event before. I'd like to know. Just help me do that quickly if you're just joining. But yeah, let's get straight to why we are here. So the thing is, this is a problem I've experienced here. Running profitable ads is very hard here. Spending money on campaign that aren't converting. You are constantly asking yourself if it's time to kill an ad or if you should let the algorithm learn faster. And you are seeing like your budget drain while your registration numbers stay flat here. So this is something I'm very familiar with. And if I think this is the right place to learn about how to solve this problem. So today's guest is Paul from Social Tap, and he has um, figured out Meta ads, both Facebook and Instagram. Paul is the co-founder of Social Tap. It is an award-winning agency that has helped summit hosts and event organizers generate millions in revenue from their paid advertising. And I'm very excited to have him here today with us. So today he's going to be sharing us his framework for um, designing our ads that fill out summits. Yeah. So this is the same framework that he has used to generate thousands of attendees for summit hosts. And he's going to be sharing them in detail for us today. So be like me and grab your notebook and pen because it's going to be like a very valuable session. So I'm going to like welcome Paul to the stage right now. Paul.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Hello. All right. Thank you, everybody. Nice to meet you all. So I'm gonna just start presenting now. Then share my screen. Can everybody let me know if you can hear me well? In the comments, please. Yep. All right. Nice. Okay. All right. Present full screen. All right. So today's webinar is going to be all about proven Facebook and Instagram ad strategies for summit success. Well, this is me, Paul. I'm from the Netherlands. This is Rachel, my business partner. She's from the UK. And me and her, we met each other 15 years ago when I was traveling in Brazil. And I have a background in marketing psychology, and she has a background in media and English. And we both really love to travel. And so we started an online advertising company 9 years ago. Since then, I've personally spent over $20 million on ads. I've been doing ads daily for 9 years already. And I'm still enjoying it. I've advertised more than 50 virtual summits, many of them that ended up in more than 6 figures in profit, including one of the biggest ones in, I think, in human history that had over 500,000 registrations. Also won multiple awards for virtual events. Now, the reason I'm saying that is just because I want to make sure that, that what I'm talking about here in this webinar is definitely going to help you, and I recommend to take notes, basically. So let's dive into it. What will this workshop all cover? Well, first of all, I want to make sure that after this webinar, you have a much better idea about how to do ads effectively. I just want to make sure that you all can try out ads and do ads as efficient as possible, but I will also try to explain it all in a very simple way. I could, of course, make 10 webinars about the very in-depth stuff, but I'm going to talk about the main things that are important. And if you do the things that I say in this webinar, you have a very strong setup already, and effective and simple as well. So we'll talk about the Facebook pixel. We'll talk about the campaign optimization and what goals best to focus on. I'll talk about how to target high-value audiences. I'll talk about the 3 campaign framework that we use, the best ads that we see, like in terms of images and text, and how to scale ads properly, because that's an art by itself. I just heard also that I'm going to be able to send the slides, or Hey Summit's going to be able to send the slides over to you, but I still recommend to take notes if it's not on the slides itself. So yeah, the Facebook pixel. Some of you will know about this and maybe some of you won't, but basically the Facebook pixel is a piece of code that tracks user actions on your website so you can measure, optimize, and retarget your ads. And gladly, Hey Summit makes this very easy because there's a built-in integration system inside Hey Summit that makes it easy. I'll show you in a bit how to install it exactly. But yeah, Facebook is arguably one of the strongest advertising platforms known to humankind. And for a few reasons, of course, because many of us are using Facebook daily, Facebook and Instagram and Thread and WhatsApp. But the second part is that it has such an amount of data on everybody. And because of that, the algorithm of Facebook is ridiculously strong. But the thing is, not everybody is using the algorithm effectively. And if you want to be friends with the algorithm and want to use it effectively, you do need to set up the Facebook pixel. And it will basically enable you to make conversion campaigns for where you can optimize the campaigns for leads and purchases, which is what we're going to focus on for the summits. Now, another thing that's useful for the Facebook pixel, I've audited hundreds of ad accounts by now, and many of the times I go into an ad account, I see that people are still doing traffic campaigns, which are like link click campaigns, engagement campaigns. They boost their post, for example, but they don't actually see how many leads came from the different ads that they've been advertising. They see, for example, the amount of link clicks, the cost per link click and stuff, but they don't see the amount of leads that actually come from the specific ads and the purchases. And of course, if you want to get better at ads, you need to learn from the things that are actually working well. What's also nice about the Facebook pixel is that it can measure cross-device. So a lot of CRMs or Google, for example, they don't really do this effectively. So for example, if somebody sees an ad on their mobile, and they click on the ad, they go through it, but they don't sign up, and then they go to their desktop computer, and then they purchase or sign up through there, then Facebook can still attribute this sign up or sale to a specific ad, as long as you're signed into Facebook on both your desktop and on the mobile. With CRMs, it would be difficult to find out what the actual source was of that lead. Now, measuring in marketing in general, that's very in depth, but this is one benefit of the Facebook pixel when it comes to that. Another nice thing about the Facebook pixel is that you can do retargeting ads. Maybe some of you will know, but the retargeting ads are typically the strongest ads because they are basically focusing on people that have already engaged with your brand or website. I'll go more in depth about that in a bit later in this webinar. But you can, for example, people that have visited your website in the past 30 days or 180 days, for example, you can then make retargeting ads. Or if people have landed on your landing page but they didn't sign up, you can then make ads specifically for these people and actually also speak to them in a way that makes sense for that stage. Okay, here's how you install the Facebook pixel. So I'll go out of it for a moment. So you go to Facebook. You go to adsmanager.facebook.com. Now, then if you're here, if you have an ad account, hopefully, you click on All Tools. You go to Events Manager. I'll show you, by the way, how to set this up in Hey Summit, not for other softwares. The pixel is now called datasets. Most people will still know it for pixel, but yeah, just so you know, you click here on the top left on datasets. And then on the right here, very soon, you'll see a piece of code here, dataset ID. You copy that. Then you go to your event. You click on setup. You click integrations. You click here on paid ad conversion pixels. You click edit. And then you paste the code here. And here you'll see it will also activate the lead, complete registration, and purchase events, which are standard events. This is very useful that it's set up already. Thank you, Hey Summit. All right, so you put the code there, then you check the event. And now I want to see if the pixel is actually installed correctly or not. So you need to download a Google Chrome extension, which is called the Meta Pixel Helper. Now, once that's installed, you'll be able to see this icon here. You have to click on it, and if it shows page view in green, then yeah, you know that it's set up correctly. Now you can click on here, book my place, just to check also the confirmation page. Click complete order. This is just the test page, by the way. And here you'll see it's still green. Page view is green here. So that's when you know that it's all set up correctly. And now I'll continue back to the presentation. All right. I'm just going to check quickly in the comments if it's all. Yeah, okay, good. It's all clear. Okay, the next thing. Conversion campaigns. Yeah, this is when I started with Facebook ads 9 years ago, I didn't know what was the strongest type of campaign you should set up, like when it comes to the goals. You have traffic campaigns, you have engagement campaigns, you have video view campaigns. The strongest, for sure, for summits are conversion campaigns. I've tested this over 100 times. Traffic campaigns versus conversion campaigns, engagement campaigns versus conversion campaigns, etc. And 99% of the time, the conversion campaigns wins by far also. About 3 to 5 times lower cost per lead and per purchase compared to other campaigns. So it's a very significant thing. And conversion campaigns you need to set that up if you want to use the algorithm as your friend and if you really want to use it. Because the algorithm is just so incredibly smart. It's much smarter than, us trying to figure out the audiences itself. You want to use conversion campaigns to make sure that it optimizes for the correct goals. Now, there's a few different standard goals. You have leads, initiate checkout, and purchases. With leads, I just mean people that sign up, basically. And you have custom conversions. Now, standard events are already set up by Hey Summit automatically, by what I just showed you. And custom conversions are conversion events that are based on URLs, usually. You can even optimize your campaign for, let's say, I want to optimize the campaign for people that have watched the video for more than 5 minutes, for example. Yeah. Yeah, very, very, very important to do this. Don't run Summit campaigns without trying out conversion campaigns. Yeah. All right. So, of course, Facebook is an impulsive consumer market, or there's a lot of impulsive consumer behavior going on social media. And so the value per lead is typically a little bit lower compared to Google referrals or organic searches. So we want to make sure that we are doing the things that we do as much as possible to optimize the value of the audiences. So strategy number 1 is to optimize for higher funnel goals. So if you go back here, we see leads here, initiate checkout, and purchases. Now, I recommend you to definitely start just with leads, just a strong base. It's easy for Facebook to get data on it. But if you notice that there's really a problem with the quality of the leads and nobody's buying things and people not responding on your emails, etc., You can then optimize a campaign for initiate checkout or for purchases. Then Facebook will automatically start to find people that are more likely to buy or to initiate the checkout, for example. Because with the pixel that is installed, Facebook can now identify what stage people have gone to from the ads. But like I said, start with lead, with just optimizing a campaign for people to sign up with their email, if it's a free summit, by the way. Now, strategy number 2 is lookalike audiences.
Hi, Paul. It seems like
yeah.
you stopped your presentation.
What?
I can no longer see your slides. It seems like you stopped your presentation.
Oh, from what moment?
Okay.
What's the last moment that was seen?
You're good now. You're good now. You can continue.
Okay. I hope that was clear about optimizing for higher funnel goals. Strategy number 1. Strategy number 2 is lookalike audiences. So you should if the quality of the audiences that you're seeing from your ads are not very strong, you can think about making a lookalike audience. A lookalike audience is basically an audience that looks like the people from a specific source. In this case, in this strategy number 2, from a customer list. So if you have a list of, let's say, 500 people that bought something from your company before, you can then upload it to Facebook, and then you can make an audience inside Facebook that looks like the people that bought something. This can be like 1 million people more even. You can make bigger or smaller lookalike audiences, but this typically significantly increases the value of the audiences. Now, not everybody has a customer list that big to use as a source for the lookalike audience, but what you can do also, for example, in strategy 3, is make a lookalike audience based on website behavior on your domain. So, for example, if somebody has read a specific blog post, or if somebody has initiated the checkout, for example, then you can make a lookalike audience based on that. Then you have strategy number 4. This is, I think, very important, where I see many people make mistakes. I've done quite some in-depth analysis about what countries do very well when it comes to advertising summits. Actually, in general, just virtual events. And the countries below here are usually the best performing ones. I recommend, at least when it makes sense in terms of time zones, to bundle them together. Is USA, Canada, UK, Netherlands, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Germany, Switzerland, Australia, New Zealand, Luxembourg, and Liechtenstein. Now, if you want to be more inclusive, let's say, and add more countries, you can. But if you add other countries to this list, make sure that you only add countries or places that are actually pretty wealthy. Because if you, for example, let's say, add countries like Mexico, Brazil, India, Colombia, those kind of countries, it's going to be easy for you to get lead for a very good price, but they buy less. And so if you want to still target those countries, I recommend you to make a second campaign to put those countries in there. But yeah, you can, for example, of course, still add other high value, richer countries to this group here, for example. Dubai is not a country, but you can add Dubai or Japan or Singapore. But these ones are typically the ones that do best. And for example, Switzerland actually typically does better than the USA even. But it's a smaller country, and you want to group this together so you can actually scale the ads more, because the bigger the audience, the easier it is for Facebook to scale. Okay, that's about high value audiences. You can, of course, also, if you want to not make the summit very, very big, you can, of course, also then target just really wealthy places, specific cities in the US or in Europe, for example. But keeping it broad is typically a good idea. All right, the 3 campaign framework. This framework is basically based to maximize the lead generation, the attendance rate, and the amount of sales. And I'll talk about it now. So you have campaign number 1, the lead acquisition. In there's multiple campaigns you set up. So I'm just talking about campaign number 1, broadly speaking. You have a cold audience campaign that you could set up there, which just targets new prospects with ads to the summit. And then also a warm audience campaign, which retarget people who've already engaged with your brand, from website visitors and email subscribers to those who have interacted with your social media or landing page. That's all about the top of the funnel, basically just getting people inside into your summit. And then you have campaign number 2, which focuses on getting more sales from those leads. Now you can set up an audience in Facebook that focuses on people that signed up to the summit, if it's a free summit, let's say, but they didn't buy it. And you then target those people with specific sales ads and send them to a sales page to increase the amount of purchases. Then you have campaign number 3, which is made to increase the engagement and attendance rates. And you do that by targeting people who have registered, and just to make them excited and remind them again about the summit. You can send them to an agenda page. If you don't have an agenda page, you can also just send them to the landing page, just so they can search around and look at the topics that are being discussed and being presented at the summit. All right, so that's basically it for the 3 campaign framework simply explained. Scaling is interesting, so that's what we'll talk about now. There are so many different scaling ideas, and they've changed. But the things that work well in terms of scaling have changed also over the years. Facebook has made things more and more easy. In the old days, there were you had all these different strategies, and I've tested all of them. I've done a lot of courses on them, but I'll explain it here in the most simple way and the way that's most safe for you to scale. So if you see an ad that does well, or a campaign, of course you want to spend more. And the more you spend, then you typically see that the cost per lead is actually going to increase significantly. Yeah, so the main symptom there is that people will struggle to maintain the cost while upping the budget. And what you also see is that one of the reasons for that is that there's ad fatigue happening, or audience fatigue. Ad fatigue happens when people, when you've maxed out on the people that respond well to a specific ad, because not everybody responds well to the same ads, right? Some people respond well to one ad, and some people respond well to another type of ad. But this ad has been maxed out, basically. The cost will then rise. Now there's also audience fatigue, so you've maxed out on the audience that you're showing the ads to. Now this is more like a little symptom also, but what you typically see is that when your frequency, at least for free summits, when the frequency is going to go above 2, that the cost is starting to rise. Frequency, by the way, is the amount of times that people see an ad from you. Now here are the main solutions. So when it comes to fighting audience fatigue, I recommend you to expand to broader audiences. Now, of course, when you expand to broader audiences, I want you to make sure that you're still, including the quality audiences. But you can think about changing the age brackets. You can make bigger lookalike audiences, because if you make a lookalike audience, you can choose like the 1%, 2%, and 3% up till 10%. And these are all sizes of the audiences, of the lookalike audiences. You can include more countries, for example. That actually helps a lot, because the thing is with scaling is that the more room you give to Facebook to find people that are potentially interested in your summit, the easier scaling will be. So the broader it is, usually the better your cost is going to stay or become. Now, one thing you can do against ad fatigue is to introduce fresh creative variation. So new ad copies, new images. Now, what many people do is that when they see a winning ad, they think like, okay, let's make more of these, but slight variations of that. That's something I do recommend to do. But what I also recommend to do is to make ads, images and ad copies that are just significantly different. So some people, for example, respond very well to red images, blue images, heavy text-based images, so speaker-based images, carousels, etc. So I recommend to make significantly different, fresh, creative variations, and then you'll typically see that the ad fatigue will disappear, and then the cost will drop again, and then are good. And sometimes, of course, you need to always keep on testing, not every day, but when things are looking bad during the scaling, you should definitely add some ads. And sometimes you'll suddenly have a new winning ad, and then that changes everything for some time. And then when that get maxed out again, you should add another creative. So it's more about keeping the keeping up to date with keep it up to date with new ads basically. But most of the time do this when you see that the costs are rising significantly. What you can also do is to add more placements if it's available. Now the standard in Facebook is that it will include all the placements, but if you've limited that, I recommend to make more placements available, because again, the more room Facebook has to find people for your campaign, the easier it is to scale. Okay, I hope that all makes sense. All right, so the best practices when it comes to ad copy. Now, of course, I can do many different webinars about just talking about ad copies, but I just want to make sure that if you're making ads for yourself, that you're making good, strong ads, simple and effective. So what I would just start with, if I were you, depending on your of course on your experience, but is to start with something clear, concise, with some clear and concise copy that includes the summit name and value proposition, like here, for example, Traffic Summit 2025, free and online. Join 20 plus top digital marketing professionals as they break down, and then basically the value proposition, and then the call to action. Because there's a big attention deficit happening, and it's only getting worse in social media. So instead of making ad copies that where it takes a long time for people to figure out what it's actually about, it's good to have some ad copies in there that make things very, very clear. Storytelling ads do work well sometimes, but it has to be a very good story, and I wouldn't only rely on that. I would also include something that is just simple and straightforward, like this. Now, and even sometimes, even a shorter copy sometimes even work better than all the other sizes, a lot better than mid-form size or long-form size. So for example, if you would just write Traffic Summit 2025, free and online, join 20 plus top digital marketing professionals as they break down how to get more traffic and sales for your business, for example, only that could potentially actually do the best, because it's just so straightforward and easy. People click to it fast. They click to the landing page fast, instead of that they keep hanging around on social media where they could potentially get disrupted by other things on social media. But in short, test all of it. Test long form, short form, middle form, storytelling ads. But for sure, include short ads and very simple value proposition based ads like this. Headline also typically, I recommend to just keep it very simple. Doesn't always have to do that. It's just that I know that this is a very good, strong base to have. All right. So when it comes to visual creative strategy, we've tested, because we have an in-house design team. We've tested thousands of images, of course. But some things that I don't see many people doing is actually text-heavy based images. They might not look the prettiest, like these images here, the ones on the left. But the value proposition is so easy to understand there and easy to see. Many times they actually outperform all the other types of images, better than videos, better than carousels, better than speaker images. So make sure that you include that, because people don't expect it actually, that those types of ads can work very, very well. But again, of course, you should mix as much as possible, because not everybody responds to the same types of ads. So you should have the speaker ads and the carousel ads and a video or two, and some heavy text-based images, preferably with different colors, as long as, of course, you're staying in the brand. If you want to design yourself, but you're not very experienced with that, you can go to Canva and just type down conference or summits, and then you'll find all kinds of templates for some interesting images. But again, here also, it's all straightforward what it's about. For example, here, Ad Summit, December 6 to 9, free and online. Learn how to create ads that actually convert from experts who do it every day. Very straightforward what it's about. You don't have to do that always, but I do recommend it to have at least a good amount of straightforward ads in there. Okay, so about strong foundations. Now, of course, not all summits will get the same results, right? So the question is, are your foundations for your summit actually very strong? Because if you have a weak foundation for your summit, you You can be a top marketer, but it's still going to be difficult to actually get good results. So the questions that you should answer positively here, preferably, are the following. So does your target audience have the financial capacity to invest? Does the summit address a real burning desire within this audience? What I typically see is that very generalized summits don't perform as well if there's not a very strong burning desire in the generalized in the general summit, for example. Is this audience accessible and easy to reach through ads? So, for example, if you're super niche, let's say you're focusing on the head of private schools in specific areas in the US, for example, this is actually going to be much more difficult. But if you know that you have a big audience and they're on social media, then that's definitely a big plus. Because, remember, the power of the ads is limited by the strength of the offer. Like ad copy even is limited to what you're actually offering. So is what your summit offering actually very, very valuable? Because you cannot offer nice solutions, of course, if your summit is not offering nice solutions for people. And then you're limited automatically by how you are offering that in the ads. So it has a massive impact on the ads if you just make sure that you have very nice sessions going on, very nice topics you talk about, very nice speakers. That is just very important, but it speaks for itself in a way. Also, is the funnel built for conversion? Is it clear, smooth, and proven to work? Is it easy for people to go on the landing page, understand what it's about, what it is, what they'll get, then sign up as well? Is that process easy? And then is it easy for them to then go on and buy things? Now, I've done ads for Hey Summit before, for summits that are built on Hey Summit before, and they convert very well. So that's very helpful that they have a system for that. But of course, like if you have a landing page for a free summit and it converts only at 25%, that's a red flag for me. It should convert at least at 40+% when it comes to people that land on the landing page and then sign up and become a lead. And also, are you tracking accurately to measure what's truly driving results? Do you really know where the leads come from? From what ad? Does it come from a referral? Does it come from organic traffic, for example? This is, I think, is just important for learning capacity for all the future campaigns that you're going to do. Yeah. So those are actually the main things. It's already almost the end of the workshop. But I'm not going to do a big pitch here because I want it to be value based. But if you want us to do all the work for you, make the ads, make the ad copy, or if you want to call with me about like the strategy of your summit and think about like the landing pages, etc., you can always schedule a call with us through www.thesocialtab.org. You can find many testimonials on there as well. And we can manage and launch all the ads. Any questions? You can always email me to paul@thesocialtab.org. And also I can answer some questions now.
Thanks, Paul. Before we see if people have questions, I just want to say a couple of things that stood out to me here. Because I like when you said that the power of the ads is limited to the strength of the offer. Because this is something I've spoken about a couple of times about how we've run webinars, and we felt like the audience was good, the topic was good, but the offer wasn't quite meeting the expectation of the whole webinar. So if your offer isn't contextual to the needs of your audience, doesn't matter how good the event or the talk is, people will still not convert. So when you are like running ads and you're crafting your copy, you should also think about the kind of offer that you are presenting to people at the end of the event. So thank you very much for that. We have someone just dropped a question now, but before that, someone asked if you could run through the 3 campaign framework again one more time because they missed the earlier parts of your presentation. So if you could do that before we visit Mike's comments, could you just run through the framework again so people can understand what it is?
So I'll present it now.
All right.
Yeah, Mike, you can email me to paul@socialtab.org. I can answer your questions there easily for when it comes to samples of successful Facebook campaigns. Yeah, I'll present now again, and I'll go to the 3-campaign framework. All right, so I'll do this totally over again, yeah, the 3-campaign framework. So you have the 3-campaign framework, and the 3-campaign framework is basically focused on getting you on maximizing the lead generation, maximizing the attendance rates, and the amount of sales. And in that, yeah, you have the lead acquisition campaign here. Under the lead acquisition campaign, there's multiple campaigns that you're going to make. But in general, you have the cold audience which targets new prospects with ads to the summit, and the warm audience, which retargets people who have already engaged with your brand, from website visitors and email subscribers to those who've interacted with your social media or landing page. Then you have campaign number 2, which is all about increasing the number of sales from your summit. Now, in Facebook, you can make an audience that have signed up to your summit, but then didn't buy anything, for example. So you then make ads specifically speaking to those people to then increase the number of sales. Campaign number 3 is for engagement and attendance optimization, which is all about making sure that people get reminded about the summit, about the event, and that they engage with it. And you do that by targeting people who have signed up and just sending them either to an agenda page or a landing page, even just of the summit, so they can search, they can go through the website again, they can see the sessions, they get excited about it again. And if you get an increased attendance rate, of course, the value per lead is going to go up. There will be more purchases and more loyal customers for your brand. Yeah, that's that.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So it seems like this 3-campaign framework works well for paid summits. But from your experience, do you see people using the same framework for free summits?
If I use the same framework for free, no, this is for free summits. This example is actually for the free summits. For the paid, if it's a paid summit, then you would have 2, because then you would have an audience that is focused on people, or a campaign that is focused on people that landed on the sales page but didn't buy something. So then you would have the sale. Yeah, that would be basically cold audience to sell the summit, and then a warm audience to sell the summit. And then you can still do the 3rd campaign where you're increasing the attendance rate even for the buyers. Yep.
I don't know if I heard that correctly. But please, if anyone else. Okay, so Mike asked the question right now. He says He says is in this special category for ads, and he's asked if you're familiar with special category for Facebook ads.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar with that. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that makes targeting a little bit more difficult, but still it's fine. You can still because special category within Facebook ads is typically a bit broader, and you cannot define the audience as much, but it's still completely fine. Yeah, finance things or recruitment type of things, real estate type of things. Yeah, but it's okay. It can still work out very well, because broad audiences actually is fine, because the thing is that the algorithm, Mike, is so strong it will automatically find the right people for you anyway. But the thing is that you need to make sure that in the ad copy you're speaking to the right people then. Oh, okay. Yeah, you got burned earlier this year. Yeah, you got to be careful with it. Yeah.
So quickly, can you just give Mike 1 or 2 or 3 tips for running better campaigns if it's running special ads?
Yeah, so if Mike ran ads for a special category, it means he was limited in terms of the targeting specific audiences. That means I think it will be broad, which is fine, but it's only actually fine if you're really speaking towards the people correctly. If you're really calling out people exactly for who they are and who you're looking for, then automatically the algorithm is going to optimize the campaign to find the right people, because it's not just about the targeting, actually. It's also about the algorithm, because if you're speaking towards the right people, let's say, hey, I'm looking for Yeah. So, for example, if you're really speaking in the ads about like, hey, we're looking for this and this and this person, type of person to register to our summit because this would be perfect for them. This is already kind of a filter by itself. So then the targeting, the algorithm will automatically find more people that signed up to that, and people that signed up to that have been filtered by the actual the copy in the landing page and in the ad itself. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, I'm sorry that you got burned,
Yeah.
by the way. It happens a lot.
So there are other comments in the Hey Summit stream. I'm sorry for the delay in getting to those comments. I'm going to run through them right now. Fernando asks if how much of a budget one should outlay for campaigns of this sort.
Say again? How much time?
How much of a budget? Yeah, no budgets.
Oh,
Campaign budgets. Yeah. So what's like the
well,
good range?
it's interesting because sometimes I spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on summits even, and some summits they spend like a few $1,000s. So it's difficult to say, and it also depends per summit. But I mean, I do recommend at least $1,000 for the summit. But it's all about, the thing is, with $1,000 you can find out very reliably if the campaign is going to work or not. It gives you enough room to do some tests, gives you enough data to find out if the leads convert well, for example. Yeah, that's what I generally recommend, at least when you guys work with me.
Okay, so Benga asks if your framework also works for physical summits too.
For fiscal?
Yeah.
Yeah. The framework works for all kinds of for all the markets. But the framework is assuming you're doing a free summit, by the way. Otherwise, it would be a 2 framework campaign.
Another person, Patrick asked if you have suggestions on campaign lead time.
Yeah. So what I typically recommend is that if you really want to go, it's frozen. If you really want to go big with the summit, you can even do it for many months. But 6 weeks is I like 6 weeks because there will be sometimes some issues like if there's a conversion rate problem, you need time to fix it. If there's any problem with the ad account, or you want to test more ads, if there's any things that are difficult, you want to make sure that you can fix the problem. And 6 weeks is a good amount of time for that. And it's also enough time to stay on top of the mind of people. And keep in mind that you will also make like engagement ads to remind people and keep them excited. But some people, like for example, that big summit that we've did that had over 500,000 registration, did over $2 million in revenue, or sorry, almost $2 million in revenue. We advertised that for more than half a year. So depends on how big you want to go. If it's your first summit, I recommend to stay conservative, to test, get your numbers straight, and then fast after that, scale it big, and then also use more lead time. But 6 weeks is the general thing that I find comfort in. Is there much difference between running into an evergreen event and a live event in terms of conversion and drop-off? So what I like about an evergreen event, what I like about evergreen events myself is, first of all, you have quality about the sessions, but also people are able to buy something quick. So for example, you're offering a free summit and then they can buy the recordings, for example. Now, typically I can see already that about 50, with this type of funnel where it's a free summit, they can buy the recordings, about 50% of the people buy before the summit happens, and then 50% buys during and after. Now, knowing that statistic, you can kind of predict how many people end up buying, and with that in mind, it's easier to feel safe with the budget that you have. Having said that, however, a live event does create more loyal customers, and the conversion rate and amount of sales that happen if you're also selling something from the live event is significantly higher. The thing is, evergreen are more predictable, the data is more predictable, but live events, they can do better because the event itself is actually just better. Yeah, I hope that helps. Oh, I cannot hear you, Sheriff. You're muted. Oh, you're muted. 1 second.
Yeah, we have one more question. Yeah, so Benga asked if static posts are better than video posts for running summit ads.
It's a common question. Actually, I find that image ads tend to do better, but most of the time. But the thing is with video ads is that if you have a very good video ad, then that can far outperform any images. It has also more of a viral effect, usually video ads. Image ads don't have really strong virality position. But yeah, for example, one type of video ad that does well is if you've done the summit before and it's all pre-recorded, that you have like a compilation of snippets of the summit, where it's in the beginning you make it very clear what the summit is, like, you know, some music, you pop out what the summit is and what it's about, and then it goes over into a compilation of snippets of talks, not where people are actually speaking, but you have some music over it, but you can make it look like very fun and engaging, and make sure that people feel excited to join and they understand what they can expect. But to answer your question, normally static ads actually outperform the videos. You there, Sheriff?
Hi, Paul. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. It seems like there are no other questions.
All right.
Now. Yeah. Yeah. To be honest, this has been a valuable session for me. I learned a couple of things I didn't know about before. I mean, I've never thought to run 3 separate campaigns to advertise an event. But yeah, that's something I'm going to be trying out next month, definitely. So yeah, thanks once again. If you want to ask Paul more questions, or if you want to even get a free consultation on your future summit ads, you can just reach out to him via the email in the chat right now. It's Paul at the socialtab.org. Yeah, or just go to his website, the socialtab.org. Yeah, and you see lots of testimonials on the good work that he's been doing for his clients here. So I'm really happy he was able to find them to talk to us today. And also, you should keep your eye out for my email. I'm going to be sending my own thoughts on this session along with replay and Paul's slides. So if you want to visit what's been discussed here, I'll make sure to get you the resources that you need. Yeah. But yeah, I hope this session was as good for you as it was for me. Yeah. I appreciate the questions at the end of the talk, and hopefully I see you all again when the next session comes around. Yeah. So
thank you everybody, and
yeah.
I appreciate the questions. It's fun.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.